Hello guys! Welcome sa ating z-knowledgeTV.
Okay, so previously, na-discuss natin ang basic concept ng statistics at kung para saan ba ginagamit ang variables at kung how to organize the data gathered with the use of frequency distribution table. So today, for the continuation ng ating lesson na Introduction to Data Management, atin naman pag-aaralan kung paano ba ginagraph yung ating statistical data.
So, lahat ng ito ay pag-aaralan natin dito sa ating tutorial. Pero, before tayo mag-start, don't forget to like this video and click the subscribe button para ma-notify kayo sa mga next videos. So, let's get started.
Okay? So, let's start. So, ano nga ba yung graphing statistical data? So, para saan ba to? So, sabi, when the data set contains large number of values, making conclusions from an ordered array or stem and leaf plot is often difficult, we will need graphs or charts in such situations. There are a number of graphs or charts to visually show numerical data. This includes histograms, frequency polygon, and cumulative frequency or yung tinatawag natin na ogive. So, pinaka-simple meaning na itong graphing statistical data is to define o describe yung large amount ng ating dataset. Okay? So, para mas madali nating maintindihan kung ano ba yung sinasabi ng ating data. Okay. So, terms that are essential to understand deeper the nature of graphing statistical data. So, ano yung una natin? So, the first one is the histogram. So, histogram is a graph in which the classes are marked on the horizontal axis or yung tinatawag natin na x-axis. And the class frequencies on the vertical axis or yung y-axis. So, the height of the bars represents the class frequencies. And the bars are drawn adjacent to each other. So, ano naman yung frequency polygon? So, frequency polygon is a graph that displays the data using points which are connected by lines. The frequencies are represented by the heights of the points at the midpoints of the classes. The vertical axis represents the frequency of the distribution, while the horizontal axis represents the midpoints of the frequency distribution. Okay, so next, ano naman yung cumulative frequency polygon or yung tinatawag natin na ogive? So, ogive is a graph that displays the cumulative frequencies for the classes in a frequency distribution. So, the vertical axis represents the cumulative frequency of the distribution, while the horizontal axis represents the upper class boundaries or tinatawag natin na real upper limits of the frequency distribution. Okay, so in order for us to understand na first three na nature of graphing statistical data, so let's proceed sa ating example. So for our example number 5, so shown below is the frequency distribution in example 3. So ito yung ating table sa nakaraang example natin. Okay, so kung ating babalikan yung example number 3, so na-define natin o na-determine natin yung mga frequencies ng per limits. Okay, so meron tayong nakuhang mga frequency. So again, ang frequency is the number of values na meron dito sa pagitan ng ating mga class limits. Okay? So ito yung set ng ating frequencies. And also, para makuha natin yung midpoints, so the formula is to acquire the average. Okay? ng ating class limits. So therefore, ito yung ating mga midpoints. And also, sa previous example natin, na-determine din natin yung mga cumulative frequencies, which is ito yun. Okay? So therefore, construct a histogram, frequency polygon, and cumulative frequency polygon. So what conclusions can you reach based on the information presented in the histogram? Okay. So let's proceed sa ating solution. So first is constructing a histogram. So dito, ating pag-aaralan yung step-by-step procedure para makapag-create tayo ng ating mga graphing statistical data. Okay? So, the first step para sa constructing a histogram is arrange the raw data in ascending or descending order. So, in this particular example, we will arrange raw data in ascending order. So, this will make it easier for is to tally the data. So, dito, any of the order. So, pwedeng ascending or descending. So, it's up to you. Pero dito, sa ating example, ang gagawin natin is ascending order. Next. So, after nating arrange yung ating raw data, so we now draw and label the x-axis and y-axis. And then, represent the frequency on the y-axis and the midpoints on the x-axis. So, labeling na yung ating gagawin. And then after that, so use the frequency to represent the height and draw the vertical bars. So the class frequencies are scaled along the vertical axis and the class midpoints along the horizontal axis. So ito yung makikreate natin na graph. So dito, nakabase to doon sa ating mga raw data. Okay? So therefore, from this figure, we note that there are 4 employees in the 15,393 pesos. So, makikita natin siya sa part na to. Okay? So, sa part ng 15,393, so may 4 na employees. So, take note, naka in thousands yung ating graph. Kaya naman, yung value dito is naka 15.393. Okay? So, same lang naman yan ng 15,393. Okay, so next. Thus, the height of the column for class 14,000 to 16,786 is 4. So, applying the same thing to other classes, so, makakabuo tayo o ma-determine natin yung number of employees per midpoint. Okay? Or sa ating per class. So therefore, as the histogram shows, the class with the greatest number of data values, which is yung 23, so kita-kita naman, is 22,358 to 25,144. And in exact, so makikita natin siya sa 23,751. Then followed by 17, which is ito, for 25,144 to 27,930. In exact is nasa 26.537 in thousands. Okay? Then the graph also has one peak with the data clustering around it. Okay, so dito, madali na natin na describe kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng ating data by the use of histogram. Okay? So, next. So, constructing a frequency polygon. So, for the step 1, so find the midpoints of each class. Then, draw and label the x-axis and y-axis. After that, represent the frequency on the y-axis and the midpoints on the x-axis. And then, connect adjacent points with line segments draw a line back to the x-axis at the beginning and end of the graph. So, the class frequencies are scaled along the vertical axis and the class midpoints along the horizontal axis. So, ito yung makikreate natin na graph. Okay? So, papansin natin na yung mga nasa x-axis is ating mga midpoints. So, papansin nyo rin na naka-decimal. So, may mga point. Pero, sa ating label, meron siyang in thousands. So, same lang siya sa value na 15,393. Same lang siya sa 18,179 and so on and so forth. And then, para sa ating y-axis, so, frequency yung nakabase diyan. Okay? Then, pagka-plot natin ng kung gaano kataas yung ating midpoint o yung ating number of employees, kasi number of employees is nakabase sa frequency. So, after natin malagay yung point, so saka natin sila pagko-connect-connectahin. Okay? So, from this figure, we note that there are 4 employees in the 15,393 class midpoints or 14,000 to 16,786. So, again, nandito pa rin siya sa point na to. And then, the height of the point for class 14,000 to 16,786 is 4. And applying the same thing to other classes, so, magagawa natin na i-describe kung o malaman kung ilang empleyado ba ang meron sa ganitong mga limits o ganitong mga midpoints. So therefore, as the frequency polygon shows, the class with the highest number of data values, which is yung 23, so kitang-kita kasi siya yung nasa peak, is 22,358 to 25,144, followed by 17, okay, for 25,144 to 27,930. Okay, so next. So, constructing a cumulative frequency polygon, or tinatawag natin na OGIF. So, for the step 1, find the cumulative distribution of the dataset. Step 2, draw and label the x-axis and y-axis. Step 3, represent the cumulative frequency on the y-axis and the upper class boundaries on the x-axis. Step 4, connect adjacent points with line segments. So, the cumulative frequencies are scaled along the vertical axis and the upper class boundaries along the horizontal axis. So, ito yung makikreate nating graph. Okay? So, kung kanina sa ating frequency polygon, so yung highest na value is nasa middle. So, bakit? Kasi yung mga yon is exact value ng ating data. Pero dito sa ating cumulative frequency, so ito is nanggaling sa cumulative ng bawat data natin. So, meaning, yung pag pinag-add natin, yung bawat data natin. Okay? So, para mas ma-gets nyo ulit yung meaning o kung paano ba kunin ang cumulative frequency, so, balikan nyo lang yung ating naunang video. Okay? So, from this figure, we note that there are 4 employees before the 16,786.5 upper boundary. Okay, so thus, the height of the point for class 14,000 to 16,786 is 4, and applying the same thing to other classes. Okay, so therefore, as the OGIB shows, when the real limit increases, so the cumulative frequency also increases. So, kitang-kita naman, no, na kada tumataas yung ating real limits, so tumataas din yung ating cumulative frequency. So, next. So, next is yung tatawag natin na Pareto Chart. So, Pareto Chart is a graph used to represent a frequency distribution for a categorical data or yung nominal level. And frequencies are displayed by the heights of vertical bars, which are arranged in order from highest to lowest. Okay, so next. So, ano naman yung bar chart? So, bar chart is similar to bar graph. Bases of the rectangles are arbitrary intervals whose centers are the codes. The height of each rectangle represents the frequency of that category. It is also applicable for categorical data or tinatawag nga natin na nominal level. Okay, so next, ano naman yung tinatawag na pie chart? So, pie chart is a circle divided into portions that represent the relative frequencies or yung mga percentages of the data belonging to different categories. So, this data in a pie chart should be categorical or nominal level. Okay? So, let's proceed sa ating example para mas maintindihan natin on how to create these kinds of charts. So, for example, number 6, using the information in the table about the favorite anime of 870 youth, construct a Pareto chart, bar chart, and a pie chart. So, ito yung ating table. So, for the solution, so first is construct mo tayo ng ating Pareto chart. So, paano tayo mapag-construct ng Pareto chart? So, first, arrange the raw data from highest to lowest according to frequency. Okay, so based dito sa ating given, so in-arrange natin siya from highest to lowest. Then, draw and label the x-axis. So, label natin yung x-axis ng anime and y-axis ng number of people. And then, for step 3, construct the chart by arranging the frequency from highest to lowest and from left to right. Make a bar with the same width and draw the height corresponding to the frequencies. So, figure below shows the Pareto chart on the favorite anime of the youth. So, ito na yung mga construct natin. So, dito, makikita natin na yung ating graph, okay, is decreasing order or descending order. Okay? So, in that case, it can easily be seen in the Pareto chart that Dragon Ball Z, which is ito yun, is the most preferred anime, followed by Naruto, while other anime are the least preferred by the youth from the given population. Okay? So, next, constructing a bar chart. So, first is draw and label the x-axis ng anime and y-axis ng number of people. So, then, make a bar with the same width and draw the height corresponding to the frequencies. Figure below shows the bar chart on the favorite anime of the youth. So, ito yung create natin using bar chart. Okay? So, kung papansin natin, ang Pareto is descending order, so meaning from highest to lowest. Itong bar chart is hindi. So, depende, no? So, nakaayon to sa kung ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng ating given. So, therefore, the same observation can also be seen in the bar chart that Dragon Ball Z is the most preferred anime, followed by Naruto, while other anime are least preferred by the youth from the given population. Next, so how about deconstructing a pie chart? So first step is, since there are 360 degrees in a circle, the frequency of each class must be converted into a proportional part of the circle. So this conversion is done by applying this formula. So degrees is equal to F over N times 360 degree, where F is the frequency of each class and N is the sum of frequencies. So hence, the following conversions are obtained. The degrees should total to 360 degree. So for the Dragon Ball Z, so meron tayong data na 250 o frequency na 250 and total of 870 lahat to. Then multiplied by 360 degrees. So ang sagot natin is 103 degree. And then for the Naruto, so meron tayong frequency na 210 divided by 870 times 360 degree is 87 degree. So for Flame of Recca, so meron tayong 185 na frequency divided by 870 times 360 degree. So ang sagot natin is 77 degree. And then for the Ghost Fighter, so meron tayong 135 na frequency divided by 870 na total times 360 degree. So ang sagot is 56 degrees. And last, for the Slam Dunk, so meron lang tayong 90 na frequency. So divided by 870 times 360 degrees. So meron tayong 37 degrees. Okay? So each frequency must also be converted to a percentage, and the sum of these percentages must have a total of 100%. So this percentage can be done by applying the formula. The percentage is equal to F over N times 100%. Okay. So where F is equal to frequency of each class and N is the sum of frequencies. So hence, the following percentage are obtained. The percentage should total to 100%. So kung kanina, yung total ng ating degrees is total ng 360 degrees. So dito, dapat lahat ng ating given is magtototal ng 100%. So first, for the Dragon Ball Z, so 250 yung ating frequency. Then may total na 870. Then times 100%, so merong 29%. Ang Naruto is 210 over 870 times 100%, so sagot is 24%. Ang Flame of Recca is 185 divided by 870 times 100% is 21%. Ang Ghost Fighter is 135 na frequency divided by 870 times 100% is 16%. And last, yung ating Slam Dunk na 90 ang frequency divided by 870 times 100% is 10%. So, ang total dapat ng lahat ng ito is 100%. Dahil kung hindi, kung kulang ng 100% or lagpas 100%, so therefore, there's something wrong sa iyong computation. Ganun din sa kanina, yung sa ating degrees. So, dapat total ng lahat ng yon is 360 degrees. Ngayon, kapag kinapos ka o lumagpas ka ng 360 degrees, so there's something wrong din sa computation mo sa degrees. Okay? Next. So for the step 3, using a protractor, graph each section and write its name and appropriate percentage as shown below. So ito na yung ating na-create na pie chart. Okay? So, makikita natin na yung Dragon Ball Z, siya yung may pinakamalaking area o percentage sa ating kabuang pie chart. Kaya naman, since Dragon Ball Z has the biggest slice in the pie chart, it is the most preferred anime followed by Naruto, while other anime are least preferred by the youth from the given population. Okay? So, next. Down tayo sa next na ating mga graphing statistical data. So, first is the time series graph. So, it represents data that occur over a specific period of time under observation. In addition, it shows a trend or pattern on the increase or decrease over the period of time. So, next, pictograph or yung tawag natin na pictogram. So, immediately suggest the nature of the data being shown. It is a combination of the attention-getting quality and the accuracy of the bar chart. So, appropriate pictures arranged in a row, sometimes in a column. Present the quantities for comparison. So meaning, ito yung halos naiiba sa lahat ng ating mga graphical presentation. Okay? So, kasi ang pictograph is gumagamit ng mga pictures. Okay? So, mamaya malalaman natin kung anong ibig ko sabihin. So, next muna tayo sa ating scatter plot. So, it is used to examine possible relationship between two numerical variables. So, the two variables are plot in x-axis and y-axis. Okay? So, let's proceed sa ating example para mas maintindihan natin kung paano ba natin makakonstruct yung tatlong nature pa ng graphing representation. So, for the example 7, so using the information in the table about the dollar to peso exchange rate from January to December of 2021, construct a time series graph. So, meron tayong ganitong table. Okay? So, meron tayong months na January to December. May specific na exchange rate per month. Okay, so for the solution, so first is draw and label the x-axis and y-axis. And then, label the x-axis for months and y-axis for peso per US dollar. And next, plot each point according to the table. Then, draw line segments connecting adjacent points. Okay? So, kapag ganun ang ginawa natin, itong step-by-step procedure, so makapag-create tayo ng ganitong graph. Okay? Na kung saan yung ating x-axis is nilabeled natin as months and yung ating y-axis ay nakalabel ng peso per US dollar. And then, saka natin i-plot yung ating mga values. For example, ang January is 41. So, itatapat lang natin siya sa may 41. Okay? February is 42. So, tatapat lang natin sa 42. Ang March is 43. Tatapat natin sa 43. And so on and so forth. Then, kapag ka-plot natin ang mga points, so, saka natin pag-connect-connectahin yung bawat adjacent points. Then, so, makakapag-create na tayo ng ating time series graph. Kaya sa tinawag niya time series graph is yung ma-determine natin kung ano ba yung trend ng ating dataset. Okay? So, it can be seen in the table that April has the highest exchange rate of US dollar to Philippine peso, and it is in the lowest in the months of January and February. So, kita-kita naman natin na yung April ang may pinakamataas na exchange rate. And then, yung January and February ang may pinakamababa na exchange rate. Okay? So, next, for example number 8, the z-knowledgeTV Realty Incorporated is a real estate who develops household in Laguna Province. The information in the table show the number of house construction from 2017 to 2021. So, construct a pictograph. So, ito yung ating data. So, for the year 2017, so meron daw tayong 400 houses. 2018, meron 250. 2019, meron 600. 2020, meron 550. 2021, meron 700. So, i-plot daw natin to using pictograph. So, for the solution, so step 1 is draw and label the x-axis and y-axis. Then, label the x-axis for years and y-axis for number of houses. And then, draw a house to represent the number of houses. So, pag sinunod natin itong step-by-step procedure, so makakapag-create tayo ng ating pictograph. Okay, kung papansin nyo, ang ginamit natin sa per bar is yung mga picture ng bahay. So, ngayon, kung papansin nyo, na sa year 2018, since na 250 yung values, and yung 250 is around na above 200 lang, but not exact sa 400, based dito sa ating number of houses, so papansin nyo na hindi siya buo yung pinakataas ng ating graph. So kasi per house, so meron tayong legend na 100 houses. Okay? So therefore, para makapag-create tayo ng 250 ni houses, so meron tayong 2.5 bahay. Okay? So kung titignan nyo yung 2017, since na 400 to, and ang isang bahay is may 100 houses, so meron tayong 4 na bahay. So buong buo siya. So sa 2019, kung 600, then ang isang bahay is may 100 houses, so meron tayong 6 na bahay. And so on and so forth. Okay? So basta, ang goal natin ito is itatapat natin sa ating y-axis, yung ating value. Kasi ang ating y-axis is nag-represent ng number of houses. Okay? So it can be noted in the pictograph that the real estate built more houses in years 2019 and 2021, while they only constructed less than 50% of houses on year 2018 in Laguna Province. Next. So for example, number 9, the owner of a chain of milk tea stores would like to study the effect of atmospheric temperature on scales during the summer season. A random sample of 12 days is selected with the results given as follows. So put the data on a scatter diagram. So ito yung ating data set na in 12 days, okay, so meron tayong temperature na naka-indicate, and then meron din tayong total sales per day. So, paano natin ipa-plot yung ating scatter diagram? So, for the solution, so first is draw and label the x-axis and y-axis. Next, label the x-axis for temperature na may unit na degree Fahrenheit, and y-axis for scales. Then, plot the points of each ordered pair in the Cartesian coordinate system. Then, kapag nagawa natin yan, mga step by step, so makapag-create tayo ng ating scatter diagram. Okay? So, sa scatter diagram natin, so nakaayon yung bawat points, okay, sa ating temperature at sa ating sales. So, kung mapapansin nyo, na yung ating points is increasing. So therefore, sinasabi lang dito na habang tumataas yung temperature, tumataas din yung total sales natin. Okay? So we deduce in the graph that there is a positive relationship with the temperature and the number of sales of milk tea. So it means to say that as the temperature increases, the sales also increases. Okay? So, sa ating mga graph, so madali natin na papaliwanag kung ano ba yung gustong sabihin ng ating mga dataset. So, good graphical displays tell what the data are conveying. So, in order to correctly develop good graphs and charts, there are some guidelines that one needs to bear in mind, such as, first, the graph or chart should include a title. Next, the scales for all axes should be included. Then the scale on the y-axis should start at 0. The graph or chart should not disfigure the data. The x-axis and y-axis should be properly labeled. The graph or chart should not contain unnecessary decorations, and the simplest possible graph or chart should be used for any dataset. Okay? So, kapag sinunod natin itong mga guidelines natin, so, maganda yung magagawa nating graphical displays o graphical representation. Okay? So, and once na maganda yung magawa nating graphical displays o graphical representation, madaling maunawaan ni reader o yung nagbabasa kung ano ba yung gusto mong ipaliwanag gamit ang iyong mga dataset. Okay. So, ayun lang. So, doon na nagtatapos yung ating discussion about introduction to data management.